Hey, I'm Nick and welcome to my kitchen. This week we are tackling something that you guys have requested in the comments for a few weeks now. Michelina's fried rice. There are so many options when it comes to fried rice, either frozen or in a package, but I'm gonna show you how to make it homemade so that you can stop buying stuff like this. Here is everything that you need to make chicken fried rice at home yourself. First of all, you're gonna need some chicken thighs or chicken breasts. I prefer to use thighs because the fat is gonna give you a lot of flavor. Remember, fat is flavor. Next, you're gonna need some rice. You're gonna wanna cook this and let it sit in the fridge overnight. What happens is when it sits in the fridge, all the moisture dries out. It's gonna give you a much crispier rice, which is what you get when you're having fried rice. You're also gonna need a couple eggs. I'm using a frozen vegetable mix that consists of carrots, corn, and peas, as well as green beans. You can cut these up yourself, but why bother? These are already cut to the exact size you need. To make our sauce, you're gonna need some oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons soy sauce, and half a teaspoon of white sugar. To make our marinade, you're gonna need some dry sherry, some cornstarch, and some black pepper. We're also gonna need a couple of green onions. If you use regular onion, it's about half a small onion. Let's prep our ingredients and head right over to the cooktop. The first thing I like to do when I'm cooking with chicken thighs is just trim off some of the excess fat. Whenever you're making something stir fry, you could use this fat and render it down. So on a really low heat, you would cook it down until it breaks down and leaves basically like an oil. And then you can just throw your chicken right into that to cook it. But I'm just gonna stick with grapeseed oil. Neutral oil, any neutral oil will do. And once we've cleaned up all our chicken, we're just going to cut it into about 1 centimeter cube pieces. So about this big. All right, once all your chicken's cut up, what we're gonna do is just transfer that into a large bowl. And we're going to add our cornstarch, a generous pinch of kosher salt, and about 2 teaspoons of our dry sherry. And we're gonna use our already chickeny hand to just give this a mix. We're gonna set this aside, let it marinate for about 10 minutes while we prep the rest of our ingredients. Our 2 eggs, go ahead and crack those. And we're just gonna beat them together with a fork. Go ahead and set these aside. Next, we're gonna go ahead and prep our sauce. You're gonna combine the half a teaspoon of white sugar, the 2 tablespoons soy sauce, 1 tablespoon oyster sauce, and a couple cracks of fresh black pepper. Give this a quick little mix and set that aside. Now that everything's prepped, let's head over to the cooktop. This is where the magic of the fried rice actually happens. If you have a wok, go ahead and use it. It's gonna be a lot better than this, but if you have just a large nonstick pan, will do fine. We're gonna start by heating about a tablespoon of oil and cooking our chicken. We wanna make sure that the pan is hot enough. We can do that just by introducing a piece. And if you hear the sizzle, it's good to go. So let's go ahead and add in our chicken. You want to keep this on a high heat for this point. We're just trying to cook this chicken through and get a lot of color on it. 2 minutes per side. Our 2 minutes are up. Let's go ahead and flip this. As you can see, we got a lot of nice color on the chicken pieces. We're gonna do that again, let it cook for another 2 minutes and then take it off. All right, our 4 minutes is up. That looks nice and cooked. Go ahead and take this off, set it aside onto a plate. And we're gonna pop that back on. We're gonna throw about 2 tablespoons of oil in there this time. And while that's still hot, we're gonna add in our green onions. I'm gonna cook these for about 30 seconds or until they're fragrant. Once that gets nice and fragrant, we're going to add in our day-old rice. You don't want any big clumps sitting inside of there. And we're going to just cook this on medium high for about 5 minutes while we get a lot of color and cook out any of the moisture that's left in this rice. We really want it to be crispy. That's the secret to a good fried rice. 5 minutes are up. We're gonna just push this over to the side, let it keep cooking over here, and we're going to cook off our frozen veggies. At this point, you don't want to mix this together. You really want these to just cook over here. Again, we're just trying to cook them through and cook out any moisture that's left over. Once our veggies are nice and bright, that means that they are cooked right through. You can grab a bean and touch it, make sure it's hot. Once it's hot, we're gonna mix everything together. Let's go ahead and add in our sauce. And stir this up until every piece of rice is coated in this. Last thing we need to do is cook our egg. So go ahead and push this off to the side again. Just beat together our egg, and we're just gonna pour it in there. If you're worried about overcooking this, turn your heat down to medium, medium-low, but you're gonna let the bottom of this egg set. After about 10-15 seconds, you're just gonna stir this up a little bit. You just want to scramble this egg just a little bit. Once again, we're just gonna let that sit for about 30 seconds. All right, one more little stir. Just help break up the egg into little curds. And as you can see, we didn't overcook the egg, so stay on top of it. And once your egg is cooked through, now we're gonna mix everything together. Almost done. Final step, we're gonna add back in our chicken with all of their juices to stir this to combine. And now it's time to give this a taste test. And there you have it, chicken fried rice made homemade. Now we need a benchmark to see how good our rice really is. Let's go ahead and give this Michelina's chicken fried rice straight out of the microwave a taste test. Without even looking at it, I can already tell that it's not crispy, which, remember what I said when we were cooking, is the most essential part of fried rice. It needs to be fried. You know what? The seasoning that they have inside of this is actually not bad. You could use some soy sauce in this, but it is basically just a mush in here. Let's try our homemade fried rice. Nice big pieces of chicken, lots of egg, lots of vegetable, but more importantly, crispy rice. There is so much flavor inside of this. That rice got nice and crunchy. The chicken thighs add so much flavor. That fat, incredible. I would actually up the soy sauce just a little bit, add a little bit more saltiness in there, but otherwise I think this is delicious. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, smash that thumbs up button. Both those things do way more for the algorithm than you know. And also comment down below what you think I should make next. I'm gonna go finish this for lunch. And until next time, get cooking.